I think one of the most powerful things you can learn as a human being is to detach, completely detach. And it's super hard to do because we're almost in a society where we all want control. Everybody wants power. They want to know what's going on. But I think the opposite is what allows you to get all the things you were wanting when you had control. I think one of the things, I'm Jamar, I'm an inspirational speaker. I'm 25 years old. I actually just wrote a whole book on detachment and all this stuff about being able to create a life meant for you. And what I've realized since researching and looking into other people's lives, living my life and trying to find peace and happiness and success, all these things we want, relationships, I've realized it's all on the other side of us detaching. It's a super hard lesson because you can't control it. You're not going to be able to control the path you're going completely, but it allows you to go on the path you're meant for. And today, what I want to give you isn't just, hey, detach, and this is how you detach, but here's the benefits of detaching. I think some of us may have heard of detaching or letting go of the outcomes, but we don't understand why. What's the actual? I'm someone that has lived and experienced the benefits of detaching, and I want to give that to you all today. So if you like videos like this, like, comment, subscribe, whatever. But I'm gonna go through this. I don't like to waste no time, but I make videos on helping people create a life meant for them. Just become the best version of themselves. But we'll get right into it. I got 5 benefits to detaching. I have it on my phone. Okay, the first one is you aren't desperate and you become attractive. Okay, one thing that happens, you aren't desperate and become attractive. You see, one of the things that happens in our lives is when we really want something, whether that's a certain goal, whether that's a certain person, whether that's a certain way of life, whatever it may be, we force it. But the problem with wanting it that much is that now you're not attracting it anymore. I like to always bring up women. It's a perfect way to use it for me as a man because I experience so much. But or dating in general. If someone is desperate for you, is that someone you really want? You know what I'm saying? You almost run them away when you're desperate for them. You have to kind of have this allure of you that it's like, yo, it's okay if I don't, you know what I'm saying? But when you're like needing things too much, you're desperate. But when you're like, yo, if it comes, it comes. You have this energy about you that attracts it to you. So it's even easier to get it. The person that works the hardest for something, you know what I'm saying, that's OD on it, usually doesn't get it. And you're wondering, why did I get it and this person did? It's not because, you know what I'm saying, they worked less than you, but how do I want to explain this? Not everything's about working hard. Sometimes it's about letting things come to you. Now, there's some things in our life that you just have to work hard for, yes, in certain phases. But working hard or forcing things is never the end all be all. If anything, it can push it further away from you. Okay? You have to learn that certain things just aren't meant for you. There's certain goals you're going after that you're not meant for, but you have to be able to understand it's going to come when it's supposed to come. I think we're needing things to happen, and that's why it's not happening. When you don't need it and you're just open to it, what ends up happening is not only do you get a better chance of getting that thing that you want, but maybe something better is out there for you, okay? And so what I've realized in life is, whether it's dating, whether it's business, when I've just allowed myself to be open instead of forcing myself in this specific area, I realize there's even more the world has to offer. I think one of the things that messes us up as human beings is that we try to think we know what's best for us. You don't know what's best for you. Want to know why you don't know what's best for you? Because you don't know what's in the future. Nobody on this earth that's a human being understands the future. So who are you to say you know what's best for you in the future? Because whatever your dreams or goals is, what if there's something better than what you've experienced so far or know about yet? Okay? Or what if what you know you want isn't what it is or what you think it is? So a lot of us, we go after a lifestyle about all the benefits of this lifestyle, but you don't know all the things that come with it. What you have to do if you ever want to really grasp anything that's worth your time or what you're actually meant for is you have to detach from the outcome because you don't actually know what the outcome could be. Okay? Allow things to happen and come to you instead of you forcing things because allow you to get everything you're supposed to get. Okay? And this brings me to another one, and it makes me kind of want to make sure I go into this one. You miss out on what you... Okay, perfect. I'm going to skip one. There's actually one I was going to do number 2, but I'm going to do a different one. You miss out on what you are not meant for / waste less time. So essentially, a lot of things you may want, and you won't get. But guess what? You don't have to ever worry about like, dang, I missed out. No, anything, and this is all about detaching. When you're detached, you're not attached to anything. You're not needing anything. You're just, hey, whatever's supposed to come is gonna come. And what happens is when you go for something and you're pure and you did things, you did the best you could, but you weren't forcing it. If you don't get it, if it doesn't come to you, then guess what? You're not really tripping because now you understand it wasn't meant for you. Anything that you don't get that's not in your life right now isn't meant for you right now. I think a lot of us are like, no, I'm supposed to be somewhere. No, wherever you are is where you're supposed to be. Okay? And so when you're detached, when you're living purely, you're living through your heart, but you're not forcing yourself anywhere. You understand wherever you go, wherever you get, whatever becomes is what's supposed to happen, and what doesn't happen isn't meant for you. So you have this understanding that whatever happens is what's supposed to happen, but you never miss out on anything. When you're forcing yourself into places and you're not letting things kind of naturally happen, you'll find yourself getting things that you said you wanted, but you'll miss out on the things that you were actually meant for. Okay, there's things that I'm in my life that I wanted earlier. Like I remember I wanted to work in sports. I wanted to do all these things and I was forcing it. But in this, if you watch my other videos, you know the story. But I was actually diagnosed with cancer in the midst of me like doing work with the Olympic facility and doing all this cool stuff with all these major league sports teams. And I was forcing it though. Like I was working my butt off. But then I was actually diagnosed with cancer. I realized, yo, but Jamar, are you actually enjoying this? And this would allow me to kind of first get this breath of detachment of thinking that you're not supposed to force anything. Everything's going to happen. And then when I was diagnosed with cancer and I was saying, why is this happening to me? I realized it was never why me. This was for me. This is what was supposed to happen. It allowed me to realize the value of waking up in the morning. So then I went about trying to find things I love to do. And then I found out I could talk to a wall for hours and have fun. And now I'm here with you guys right now. Now I tour the country and speaking at schools, colleges, all across the country, having a lot of fun. Not because I forced this to happen, but because I detached and let things evolve. I just kept following my heart. The whole art of detachment is just following your heart and seeing where it goes, okay? Does that mean we don't have goals? Does that mean we don't want things, we don't work hard for things? Yes, we still do those things. We just don't need it, okay? And it allows us to never miss out on anything because if we don't get it, guess what? We're not missing out. It was never for us in the first place, okay? If you're enjoying any part of this video and you're like, man, this dude has a lot of knowledge or whatever, I promise you this is just like the tip of the iceberg. I have a whole book where I wrote out everything I know about life, my whole perspective, my whole philosophy, and it's about my entire life. It's a memoir where I give all the game on how to find your passion and find success with whatever you want to do in your life, okay? Link in the little description. I figured I'd do my own ad. Everybody else, let's YouTube. I do my own ads. Do it, back to the video. But yeah, if you want to get more about me, click the link, buy my book. Bye. And also remember, I want to go back to this one. When you do these two things and you're not desperate, you know you're not missing out. What ends up happening is people come up to you because they can feel, yo, this guy isn't trying to sell me. This guy isn't trying to like finesse me. One thing that I just had the other day was I was at a conference. So I'm an inspirational speaker. You know, I have to sell myself. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get booked at schools. This is how I make my money, okay? YouTube ain't paying your boy yet. And so one thing that's happened to me that I realized at the last conference I went to, and I've actually got the most business out of this conference than any conference I've been through in the past, is because I changed my mindset. Usually at these conferences, I used to hustle. I try to force every person to talk to me. And, you know, they could feel I was trying to sell to them. But this conference, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to speak. Whoever comes up to me, come up to me. But I'm not doing anything. I'm not going up to anybody unless I have my heart, my intuition pulls me to them or we have a natural conversation. And I would just relax. And I had this energy. I was sitting in my booth and I'm just like, whoever comes up, I'm just like. And you know what I realized? People were more attracted to me because it's like, yo, this guy must have stuff going on because he's not needing me. He's not forcing it. I had some people come up and talk to me and they didn't seem that interested. And I was like, oh, okay. But then they'd come back the next day of the conference like, yo, this happened. My student said that you were so amazing in this speech. Oh, let's book you right now. Or let's get a meeting right now. It was because I wasn't like needing it. Imagine if I was selling them too hard. They probably would have been like, but that guy needs it. He probably isn't that good. When you're good, when you're living in your purpose, I don't like to say that, but like you living in where you're supposed to be, you're living purely, things happen to you. You don't have to force it. And it happens so much more than you can ever imagine because you're attracting. You're not having to work. Everything's aligned, okay? When something attracts to you, it's because it aligns. When you force something, you're forcing yourself in there, and you're only going to be able to get so much because you have to force it. You have to work super hard. But when you're attracted, it multiplies because it's just everything that's meant for you. It takes a little bit for it to get going, but I'm telling you, I was just having all these people come up to me, not because I was forcing my way into everybody, but because the people that could feel my energy and it worked. they came up to me, okay? When you detach, when you're just being you and letting things happen for whatever it may be, it allows you to have things come to you, okay? And then what you also realize is, and this is also what happened to me at the conference, your energy isn't wasted on things you can't control. So one of the things I used to do at the conferences, I would constantly, drain myself, going to every little event at the conference, drain myself talking to every person that I got eye contact with. It was just like, but I wasn't the best version of myself anymore because I was constantly using my energy where I didn't feel like I was meant to be. A lot of us, we confuse like working hard with, like, we think we have to work hard, but what about us being the best us? If something causes us not to feel like we can be whole, then yeah, we feel like we're making an impact. But now in the moments where you could have made a lot of impact, you're not the best version of yourself. And so at these conferences or just in general, when you're constantly working hard, yes, you're making this incremental steps forward, but what if you could just do one thing where you're the best version of yourself and take one big step, okay? And so a lot of times when we're not detached, we're giving our energy to everything, but we're giving our energy to things we can't even control, okay? When you're living when you're detached and you're following your heart, you're only giving your energy where you feel called to be, okay? So I'm not trying to make 100 YouTube videos today. Could I? Yes, but I only feel called to make one today. And that allows me to be the best I can be for today on this video, okay? We have to stop thinking that we can measure the impact, okay? Things are gonna multiply. We live in the world of the internet, of social media. Things will take fire when they're supposed to. Whatever you're doing, you just need to give your energy where it's meant to be. And that means not forcing things. That means just putting your energy where you know it's best used. And if it don't feel right, it's okay not to work hard. It's okay not to do that. Just put your energy into things you feel like you're called to do. I promise you, everything gets taken care of. Okay? And then and this brings me kind of to what I was saying. You come in tune with your best self. You see, what happens is when you start to finally detach and you stop wasting your energy on things you can't control, like I was saying, you then become in tune with the best version of you. So every opportunity is fully taken advantage of. So yes, when you're working hard, you may create more opportunities because you're forcing your way to get more opportunities. But are you even taking advantage fully of those opportunities because you're not even a whole version of yourself? I'd rather have less opportunities and fully take advantage of them than more opportunities and I'm not. You see where I'm going here? It's all about coming in tune with the best version of yourself. If you don't feel like, hey, this is where I feel like I should be, if I don't feel whole here, now that doesn't mean to duck anything that's uncomfortable, okay? When you're uncomfortable, that doesn't mean it's not where you're meant to be. That's where you have an opportunity to grow. But if you can come in tune with the best version of yourself, right now I'm doing what I love to do. I've given myself grace. I just got back from a 21-day road trip on the road speaking. I gave myself 2 days off before making another video. I feel in tune here. I feel rested here, okay? Your goal shouldn't be to work super hard. Your goal is to become more in tune with who you are and to become the best version of yourself. The more you can put yourself in a pure, not society, ecosystem or area, you know what I'm trying to say, in a pure space, it allows you to come in tune with your best self, what allows you to enter this flow state. Like right now, I'm not in my best flow state right now because I'm still a little tired, but I'm in a flow state right now. I'm just speaking through my heart. I'm not like, I don't have a script on my phone. I just have 5 bullet points, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just flowing. And I don't know how many views this video is going to get. It could get 2 views, it could get 1,000 views, it could get 1,000,000 views. But I know through this is where the right purpose I'm meant for is for. Do I know what that is? No. But it allows me the best version of me for the person. There's somebody possibly watching this video that needs me, but better yet, I need me right now to do the thing I love to do because this is what allows me to feel whole. This is what allows me to go to bed at night and be like, okay, I took advantage of the day. You feel me? You need to be there for yourself. When you're there for yourself and you become the better version of yourself by taking care of yourself, not forcing yourself into anything, just allowing life to happen to you, not forcing anything. You come in tune with you and allows you to fill your own cup, but allows you to help more people than you can ever imagine. One of my big quotes is, the key to helping as many people as possible is being selfish enough to do the thing you love to do. Okay, so a lot of times we think we have to force. No, what we have to do is organic. Make ourselves feel right. Make ourselves do the things that feel like that's what we're supposed to do. It feels that feels like love, and that allows us to help more people than we can ever imagine. But if you're trying to force a purpose, trying to first force the results, trying to force this person to like you, you'll end up in places you're not even meant for, and better yet, you'll become a worse version of yourself. Okay, and all this stems from, it comes down to the most important thing. Okay. you actually find peace. In this world, I believe the only way to ever have any peace is to detach. Because there's so many problems, there's so many things we don't understand. Like, it's impossible to understand everything. There's always something to be worried about. There's always something in the future that you don't know what's going on. As a human being, we lack information. There's always going to be a gap. Now, that always gives us something to do, but it can also always give us something to have anxiety about. Always something our mind can be. But when you learn to detach and learn, whatever's going to happen is what's going to happen. If this girl likes me, she going to text me back. And if not, guess what? We weren't meant to be together. When you learn to detach, it allows you to actually be present and take advantage of the present moment. The only thing we actually have in this world is this moment. I don't know if I'll have a moment in the next moment. Everything could blow up. Sorry to be negative, but the only thing we got is this moment. And when you're constantly worrying and forcing and thinking, you don't get right now. And that's the only thing we actually have. And I think a lot of us, we waste and miss out on so many things. But what's crazy is when you take advantage and you're present of right now, that's actually what creates the better future, because you're actually doing things you can control. Thinking, having anxiety, and being worried does nothing for your future. That only causes you not to take advantage of the present moment, which creates your future. I'm talking to somebody, okay? What's crazy about detachment is all the things you weren't doing when you're detached was wanting certain things. But when you stop wanting it and just start detaching, that's actually when you get the things you want and even more. Because now you're whole. Now you're in the present moment. Now you're in the best version of yourself. Now you have peace. Now you can be more creative. Now you can find where you want to go more. Now you have more clarity, okay? When you're desperate, when you're forcing, you're creating a life you're not even meant for, okay? But when you're detached, when you're pure, when you're doing things you love to do, everything that comes to you is what's meant for you. And if it doesn't come, guess what? There's something even better out there for you. I need you to know there's something special inside you. I need you to know that passion was put in your heart. I need you to know the things you went through in the past happened for a reason. You don't need to think, man, if things would... Everything that happened and is happening exactly the way it's supposed to. Don't overthink it. Be cool with not understanding. Be cool with not knowing what's going to happen in the future. Instead of fearing the future and needing it to go somewhere or in this particular way, just have fun exploring and be surprised when it comes. If life took someone away from you, you thought you would never lose. Okay. If life took someone or something away from you, you thought you would never lose, it's going to bring you something you thought you would never get. What's beautiful about not knowing isn't the thing. Like, I think a lot of times we don't know or we can't control and we think that's a problem. No, it allows us to be surprised. You can either fear it or you can be surprised. It's your choice. But I promise you, if you just live in the present moment and enjoy whatever you have, because everybody has something to be grateful for. There's nobody that doesn't have something to be grateful for. If you can always just focus on what you have to be grateful for, if you can always focus on what you can control and not what you can't control, and you enjoy the moment, I promise you, everything that's meant for you will come. Once you stop forcing, once you stop needing, and just start being. Woo, that was cold. Like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next video. I enjoyed it. Always good to be back. See you on the next one. Peace.